Out of all the sports teams that exist, certain countries have a big one or two, but we're proud to say our podcast is about the biggest team in the entire world.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah! This is the World's Team Podcast. All about the world's team, the Dallas Cowboys, baby. We're here to redefine what it means to be a fan of the gridiron game. It's not just America's team anymore. Nope. We're taking that star-studded pride and spreading it across the globe. Each week, we dive into all things Cowboys. From game analysis that'll have you on the edge of your seat, to reactions and all the latest news. Whether it's free agency frenzy, draft day drama, or injury reports that make us want to hug our lucky jerseys a little tighter. We're bringing in fan groups from all over the place, from Germany, France, Brazil, the UK, Canada, Japan. Everybody gets to share their 2 cents on America's favorite team.
And here we go!
America's team, Mexico's team, world's team, my Dallas Cowboys.
And now your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome to another episode of the World's Team. Remember, it's not just America's team, it is the World's Team. And as always, I am your host, Paul Stewart, and I am joined by my brother-in-arms, Mr. Mike Poland, where you can find him on bloggingtheboys.com. But yeah, Mike, how are we doing, bro?
Yeah, again, we say this every week. We're one step closer to the draft. Our favourite time of year, apart from when the Cowboys make the playoffs. But it's our favourite time of year, and we're getting a little bit closer. Can't wait. Got loads to do, loads to get through. Very excited. And I'm excited for a little extra something for tonight as well, Paul.
Yes, speaking about tonight, we are joined by one of our good friends, special guest, no other than Mr. JTuck. You can find him on CFO Sports. And without further ado, let's bring him on. There he is. What's happening, bro?
He's on mute.
Oh, it's on mute. Oh, my apologies.
Well, you know, what's going on, guys? America's team, what's going on? Not just
there we go,
team,
represent.
Team. So, what's going on, my guys?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. It's so good to see you, my friend. So good to see you. But yeah, you're in your element as well. Like, you love the draft process as much as Mike does.
yeah. You got to be a sicko to love the draft process. But I tell people it's pure. It's pure. Because it's just football. You're never kind of tied to being a fan of a team. It's just watching the film, watching the player, and calling it black and white. And I think this year has been my most enjoyable covering the draft because I've gotten the opportunity to interview a lot of these diamonds and the rough kids that not a lot of people are talking about. One that really comes to mind was Kendall Paul out of East Texas A&M. Not a lot of people even know the name, right? And I kind of found this kid being a nerd one night, watching film on a late night. And I was like, he has something. Like, he's flying around like Ant-Man out there, and he's all over the field because I was watching Drew Armstrong, who was a wide receiver for Arkansas, but he played at East Texas A&M as well. But on the defensive side of the ball, this kid was jumping all over the film. And so I looked him up, found him on Instagram, was like, hey, man, just came across your film, looks phenomenal. Brought him on my show. And at the time, no one had any idea who this kid is. Well, we were talking about gearing up for his pro day. He didn't know if anyone was going to even show up. It was there in Frisco, Texas. And he's like, man, I promise you, Tuck, I'm going to run a 4.2. I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to hold you to that, And, man, he went out there and smoked it and ran a 4.2. And it's been mania ever since. I'm not sure if you guys seen the viral video of the Dallas Cowboy scout. Was like, okay, but then now it's, Yahoo Sports and ESPN, like he was the fastest guy in the combine. So, it's kind of giving me that pleasure and that joy and that fulfillment to find these kids, these diamonds in the rough, and, give them a spotlight that they deserve. The Abdul Carters, the Travis Hunters, they don't need us, right? But these kids who come from these smaller schools and maybe transferred a few times, the little bit of exposure that we can use for our platform to bring some spotlight to help them fulfill their dream means the world to me. So I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, and that's the thing for me. Like, I love the fact that you get to learn about some of these players you had, like, you might see this like, could you imagine having this type of player? It might be like a third round or a fourth round. It's like what he could bring to the table. Like, and that's why I find it's so exciting about the draft, like more particularly, because over the course of the years, like you might see some players that might fit. Oh, this player might fit this scheme or fit this scheme. It's like even though this player might be a blue chip, but does he fit our team? Like you're thinking so many ways, especially during this draft process, about the best for this football team. And and Mike, who is in his element, man, he just wants to shut up about it. He won't.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite times of being a content creator. I enjoy it the most, and honestly, I really need to start doing it full time. Because I kind of cheated this year and started like October-ish, because the Cowboys wasn't doing much. So, I think that this upcoming season, I'm probably going to do draft content just around the clock because I really enjoy it. Paul, we've been talking about Amari Hampton off the grid. It's just like,
oh yeah,
and as weird as it sounds to people. Though I cover the NFL, I'm not an NFL fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I'm a college football fan. Like, I'll watch college football. It might be Army versus Tennessee. And on Saturday, like, I'm glued into the TV. Like, I play college football 25 on my PlayStation. I'm getting ready to play it here as soon as I get back from handling some stuff with the family. So, like, I love college football, but I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So it's easy for me to digest the college game and know these players. And, so it's just one of those things. I love the spirit of college football. It's one of the best things. If you guys think going to a Cowboys game is fun, oh no, you guys really need to come down and we'll take you to some college football games. And Paul, you might not make it to the tailgate, to be honest with you.
well, that's a given. That's a given.
Yeah.
I will say though, I had my first ever college football experience at North Texas, and I actually got to see Chavo, the cornerback for East Carolina, in person. Yeah. Boy. Boy.
Yep.
Must have been early in the season then, because he was out for most of it.
Yeah. And see, but that's the fun. You'll sit back and you'll be watching college football and be like, who is that? And look him up, or let me circle that name and put a star by it and repeat your references.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's what you were kind of saying. Like, you've got the Dallas day where you've got all the like SMU, ECU, North Texas, like all the kids from there have an opportunity to like kind of like do their thing and stuff like that. And I was talking to Mike about this last week. There's one or two players in the North Texas team I think could be actually a good shout as an undrafted free agent. Like they could actually be there, like a lot to work with. Let me rephrase that. There's still a lot they need to work on, but there's certain attributes. There's like, oh right, okay, I there's something there. There is something. So.
And for a Dallas Cowboys standpoint, the undrafted free agent, that's where we really roll up our sleeve, right?
Oh, yeah.
Been so many players that I've talked about and we talked about in the past, like Marquise Bell, I'm extremely high on, Wanye Thomas, the list goes on and on with a lot of these kids, and they end up having impact from Brock Hoffman to Terrence Steele. I mean, if I'm an undrafted guy, I'm an agent, I'm trying to get my guy to Dallas because you probably have a much better chance of playing in Dallas as a UDFA than some other teams. So
yeah, it's crazy. Well, speaking about the draft, we are going to be doing our mock draft together. So, so obviously, so I just don't know what rules we want to do. Do we want to do trades, or you just want to go just full on, just do it as we see fit?
Tuck is the guest. He gets to choose.
I would say let's just go straight through.
Okay.
And if we see something that kind of entices us, we can always trade, right?
There you go.
But let's be honest, the Cowboys, we don't really trade up. We'll probably
trade. Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Chris. I mentioned this on last week's show. I don't know if you've seen it, JTuck, but CBS Sports had the Cowboys moving up to 4 to get Travis Hunter. You're like, don't get me wrong, Travis Hunter is the best player, arguably, in this year's draft, but there's no explanation to what we traded for, what we gave up to go up to 4. I'm like, this is just, noob level, really.
The Travis Hunter dreams went bye-bye when Kevontae Turpin decided to be a hero and run the kickoff back versus Washington, and we wanted to go out and beat the Bucks and, just kind of play, in those last games. So, Travis Hunter, there's absolutely no way. And I feel like, honestly, that's the value of what we do in our community is that, even though I'm a draft guy, I'm not a NFL draft guy. I'm a Dallas Cowboys draft guy.
Yeah.
I know what my team needs, what typically look for, exactly. And I know that we're not trading up from 12 to 4 for anybody. So it's just, but I get it. The headlines, it would be nice. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I would scream and have an out-of-body experience that we did that. But realistically, that's just not how we do.
Well, just, I did a vote that's currently still running on Twitter, and 20% of the people say it's not worth trading up in the first round. It's a heavy vote.
I disagree, but it depends on what for.
Exactly. Well, funnily enough, I said trading down in the first round for the Dallas Cowboys should be, and it was a priority, not worth it, or only for the right deal. And as you can imagine, only for the right deal is winning the vote at the moment.
Yeah. But, and with this year's draft class, and we'll talk about it, the top 10, that's where the entrees really are. Yeah. And then after, I would say probably 15, that's when the tags start to touch a little bit. And it's just kind of gets the more flavors of ice cream, which I think is going to allow this draft to get insane, especially with the cornerback market. You don't know who's going to be the first, probably after Travis Hunter. Could it be Will Johnson? And then, with,
Barron.
Injury, Barron. So, so it's kind of, so you got, Benjamin Morrison will probably be second round now with the, so it's you're going to have a lot.
Glad you said that.
Yes, you're going to have a lot of value with guys. You're kind of just thinking, okay, so. But honestly, I would trade up. And if we get to the scenario in the mock draft, I'll explain why.
Yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get the show on the road then. So we'll do our mock draft, and here we are. We have it here on our screen using PFF Simulator, and obviously we're going as the Dallas Cowboys, selecting at 12, and we're doing a full 7-round mock draft. And I'll slow down the speed a little bit, so.
Trying to get all my scouting notes up here because I'm on my iPad today, so I have
Hey, there we go.
I've got my laptop open.
Right, just before we do begin, are we happy with the advanced settings? Just go with public.
Yeah.
All right, let's go for it. All right. So the World's Team and JTuck NFL Draft is about to begin.
Woohoo!
All right, let's go. So starting off. Cam Ward, Carter, Hunter, Mason Graham 4, Genty's gone. Yes. And I think we know what we would do in this situation. Yeah. I think this is a very easy situation in this one. I don't know about you, Tuck, if you have any reservations on this one.
If you want to help Dak, you must draft Mac, man. That's my
there you go.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's it. And, honestly, I hear the narratives out there. And honestly, I'm not concerned. And Mike, you can probably elaborate on this as well. I'm not really concerned when it comes to Ted. I'm a Big 12 guy. I've watched him numerous occasions. I'm not really concerned about the separations, a fluid athlete, vertical jump, size. Yeah. And what I'm trying to explain to people, separation matters when you don't really have an advantage, right? So let's say, for instance, I'm 6'5" and I have a massive wingspan, but I'm going against a 6-foot corner. And if I run a post route and that corner is in my hip pocket, just off my wingspan alone, that creates natural separation that the might not be able to get to. So, I'm definitely drafting Mac to have him opposite of CeeDee Lamb. It's something that we desperately need. CeeDee Lamb battled through the shoulder injury. He was dragging through the course of the season. Yeah. And no slot to Jalen Tolbert, Mingo, Brooks, the list goes on and on. But it doesn't put fear in any defenses, but it doesn't put fear in defensive coordinators. And you have Tet. He will definitely be a guy that you have to scheme for. So I'm drafting Mac every time he's there at 12, 0 hesitations.
I think it's unanimous in this regard. So,
Yeah.
Ted McMillan, welcome to Dallas.
And we need an X-type receiver. Is what the Cowboys need. We haven't had it since Dez left, is what I've said.
Yeah. And so, but what concerns me, though, is that the Cowboys have spent resources at the X. And so I feel like putting my Cowboys hat on, they're going to be like, well, we traded for Migo. We drafted, Jalen Tolbert in the third. We also got Ryan Flo. And then it's just like, so.
I don't know about you guys, but I hate San Francisco. Look who they just picked.
Caleb Johnson.
Yeah. I'm a big. I love.
They're going to just run Caleb Johnson and Christian McCaffrey, 25 carries apiece, and not let Brock Purdy throw it all.
Yeah. This is why like these mock draft simulators make me laugh. It's like, okay, that's what you're going to do, San Francisco in the second round. You're going to take Caleb.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit.
Okay, so for the second round pick, I picked number 44. We've got Demetrius Knight Jr., Trey Amos, Landon Jackson, Maxwell Hairston, Siobhan Revelle, who we kind of briefly mentioned, Princely Umanileum, Bradley Swinson, Jaden Higgins, Cam Scatterborough. Like the list can go on. Like Judkins, running back from Ohio State. So, but yeah, guys, where's your mindset going into the second round now that we've picked Ted McMillan in the first round?
Let Ted go first.
So if it's me putting my draft hat on, I'm going heavy octane and I'm going with Judkins.
Yes.
Interesting.
So to be able to combine Mac and Judkins, I feel like that's high octane. That can definitely boost our offense. Now we're cooking with some grease, because if we're not going to fill the void and try to close the gap on the NFC East, which is widening via free agency, we better go get some weapons via draft. And I feel like with Judkins and Mac, that's a young nucleus we get for 4 to 5 years for low to pair with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb is too hard to pass up on. But defensively, I do like Braden Swinson out of LSU, edge rusher. Demetrius Knight is also an interesting prospect. I think the Cowboys have met with them. Matt Eberflus met with them.
Yes, they have.
He is. But the thing about Demetrius Knight, he is high floor, low ceiling, which is good for the linebacker position. But he's also 25. I think he'd be like almost 26 by the time the season starts. So, that's kind of an older prospect. Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, phenomenal corner. Landon Jackson has all the measurables. And then we know what Harrison did with the combine with the 40. And then Siobhan, I think our doctor worked with his ACL, so that's kind of the tie with Dallas.
Yeah.
But if it's me making this pick, it's Quinshon Judkins, and I'm just backing over the fence and getting some firepower via the draft and making things easier on my quarterback who's getting older, coming off the hamstring injury.
I totally agree with you. Like, especially after seeing what Quinshon's been doing in this offseason leading up to his pro day, he is looking huge.
Right.
Like, he's looking jacked. I was like, because that's one thing we're kind of missing. We're missing more of that type of powerhouse type of style running back in some regard. Like, even though we brought in Williams, brought in Sanders, like, we don't want to bring someone as similar to Williams and Sanders.
Right.
But you want variety to really keep the offense guessing. I think Judkins is a really good solution to that.
And he's a guy, right? Especially, having, Sanders and Williams, that it can start off rotational. I kind of, think about last year with Bucky Irvin, right? It kind of started off rotational, but that way you're not putting the wear and tear on him early. And then probably around week 5, week 6, we'll just be like, all right, he's good to go. But you have that insurance policy this year with having Williams and also Sanders in that rotation. So I would definitely take Judkins. The kid looks phenomenal. The size, the burst, the speed, the punishment, it's all there. We all watch Ohio State football.
Yeah, just looking at his stats right now, like 14 touchdowns last season, 15 the year before, and 16 in 2022. Like he's a scoring machine, like in college.
And that's splitting with another phenomenal running back. So
yeah, and tandem with Henderson. Which is crazy to think, really crazy. So Mike, give me your thoughts.
For me, the guy who is most interesting for me is on defense is Maxwell Hairston. Cowboys are shy at cornerback. Every time I mention cornerback, they go, Kaya Elam. And I'm like, Kaya Elam is not the answer for the Cowboys at cornerback. Yeah, look, fantastic that he's a placeholder there. Don't get a lot of people get what's the word I'm looking for? They get seduced by the idea that this guy was a first-round pick. But I always say, what you're doing is you're forgetting, he's a first-round pick, but you need to put in brackets before that, former.
Former.
And people forget that.
Yeah. And go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to say, in some way, I'm kind of counter-arguing in some regard. It doesn't happen to everyone, but Kevin, like, I always use this, particularly with quarterbacks. Like, it doesn't matter, like, by the team that you get drafted, you might not be a scheme fit. But when you look at, like, Sam Darnold, who just did for the Vikings there, Baker Mayfield for the Tampa Bay, why can that not be the same for other positions? Like,
I
get it.
And I get it too, but you can do things like that when you have an insurance policy, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the problem. The Dallas Cowboys take risk in flight sometimes. Like even like with Tyler Guyton last year, like it was a big roll of the dice converting a kid who's never played left tackle ever in his life to left tackle when you had Chuma Yadoga and you didn't have a Tyron Smith. If you had a Tyron Smith, there's an insurance policy. And then Tyler Guyton took off. Well, then you can have the conversation, so you can have those things. But I feel like with corner, there's such a pressing need. And Kyer Elam was a kid I loved coming out of Florida.
Out of college. Florida was phenomenal.
Yeah, Florida was phenomenal. It was all there. But that doesn't do me any good, right? And I feel like the Cowboys have this mindset where we can change them. We can change them, whether that's Peyton Turner from Trey Lance, right? But the way that this season is going and the moves that these other teams are making just in our division, I'm not gambling our secondary on Kyer Elam. So I would definitely consider Harrison, but there's also some other corners that I like as well.
Like Trey Amos, I get, that's another good choice. I like Hairston because he's so dynamic and he offers you a lot. And if you think, what I try and do is I'm trying to picture Eberflus. And what he's trying to put on the defense. And you think, as Hairston, that Kentucky defense, the Tampa 2, that cover 3, that just works perfectly and works in tandem with what we've had with Eberflus in the past. And I just think it's a bit more of a close fit there for what they would try and put together. But
yeah, I mean, I would like to have put Siobhan Ravel's name in there, but the only problem is injury. Injuries. That's the problem.
Ready till 2026, and so it's almost like a Jalen Smith.
One full season in college.
Yeah. So he's
talented, but
he's super talented. But I feel like it might be a situation where he slides even further. To be honest with you,
I mean.
Yeah, kind of similar to who was it drafted by the Eagles? He was supposed to be a first-round draft pick.
Kobe Dean.
That's the one.
Right. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It could be very similar to that. Yeah. Very similar. Like if he's there, maybe like in the 5th, like crazy talk.
It would have been nice if we had a 4th, right?
That would have been great. All right. Okay. So with the second pick, where like obviously you're thinking Judkins, I'm also kind of thinking the same. I really want to.
I'm outvoted then. I'm outvoted.
You could go here.
This is a democratic show. I've been outvoted.
Yeah, I like Harrison too, but I just feel like Judkins. I mean, because here's the caveat, right? Yes, we're on the Mac, we're on the mock draft simulators, but there could be some quality running backs that's still there.
There you go. That is what I was thinking. So, cornerbacks can. I think the talent gap slides off quick.
Pool. So you know what? Let's go Harrison.
Harrison. All right.
Go Harrison.
Okay.
It's a democratic show.
Yeah, there we go.
See what happens when people sit down and have a talk and actually discuss and think of logic behind this. It makes a hell of a difference, All right.
I know where I can get probably the next round. And I want to see how Mike really feels about this kid. Go ahead. So we'll go Harrison.
All right, let's go for it. Maxwell Hairston, welcome to
Dallas. Oh, you took another corner out of Kentucky in the second. How the hell last
different, it was my fact. Different.
Yeah, I just think, you've got a lot of talent in this running back pool.
I mean, I fall in love with a new running back every day. Like, I need to stop watching them because it's like.
I was watching tape, and in the end, I've done
I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but right away, Dylan Sampson from Tennessee.
Dylan Sampson. So if you go Dylan Sampson, you could probably get that off. You have Farmer, Phillips, Trey Harris, but we already took a wide receiver. But I know that probably that guy.
RJ Harvey. Funny enough, you mentioned about RJ Harvey. We had one of the guys on the UK Cowboys fans, I believe it was Chris Gonzalez, Mike, who was talking a lot. It's like, I would love to get RJ Harvey.
I love this kid. And crazy enough, inside scoop, when I was at the combine, I was doing a live show just on my iPad, kind of chilling, vibing a little bit. And, some guys who were kind of scouts, they overheard me. And they're like, I'm curious, like, I heard you talking about RJ Harvey. What's your attraction? I'm just like, I'm curious to find out what's not your attraction. Like, so I was like, man, watching this kid in the Big 12, yards after contact consistency. And of course, when I talked to the scouts, it was before he actually ran. I think that was like Friday, right? So like 4.5 speed, built like a tank, can do it all. I don't understand why there's not a lot of attraction when it comes to him. So when you think he's solid. I mean, he's built like a running back, So
I like it.
Yeah. So it's just like, for me, when it comes to RJ Harvey, he's in my tier 2. So I have it in 3 tiers. I mean, multiple tiers, but tier 1 is Hampton, Genty, and Johnson. And then that next tier is like Judkins, Sampson, Henderson, and Harvey, right? So that's kind of my tiers. So I personally like Harvey a little bit more than Sampson, but either or, you cannot lose. It's a massive upgrade to the running back room. So either or, but I'm partial to RJ Harvey. Love the kid.
I'm more than happy to go with RJ Harvey in this one, because like statistically speaking, 22 touchdowns last year. Like, over 1,500 yards last year as well.
UCF always gets overlooked.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually have a kid coming on my show next week from UCF, but I want to ask him, because he's getting overlooked. Amari's being overlooked, Harvey's being overlooked, and also Kobe Hudson, the wide receiver. Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like,
I tell you what it is. I've got the theory. It was that year when they crowned themselves national champions. Remember that? About like 5-6 years ago, because they went like 3 seasons without losing a game.
Yeah.
And I think that just rubbed scouts up the wrong way.
Well, I tell you this, they are, because I was just in Orlando a few weeks ago with me and my family, they are building at UCF on campus a water park. So, like it's like a $5 million water park on campus.
Wow.
So,
what?
I think, oh yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Only in Florida. Only in Florida.
Yeah. So if people aren't taking notice of UCF, they dang sure will soon.
I do love Harvey. I do. Oh, go on. Sorry, Paul.
I was just going to say, I can just imagine on game day, you're trying to throw a touchdown pass, and next time you see a water slide.
Yeah.
Well, you're like, what?
Yeah.
I do like Harvey. I think he's great. Contact balance through the roof.
Yeah.
I know it's the size, but I think the size, I'm with you. That I want my running backs to be short and squatty, because that's the low center of gravity, that tough little nut to try and bring down. I like it. We talk about Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson's the other way. He's like 6'3", much taller, like 220 pounds. You watch it. Running style, I like with Caleb Johnson. I worry about the injuries, because he's that upright, tall runner. But Harvey, squatty to the ground, scrappy guy, hot motor.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, so Mike,
I'm with you guys. I like Harvey.
Yeah. All right.
I think Sampson or Harvey, two very complete different backs.
Yeah.
Opposite ends of the scale, but either way, depending on how you want to manipulate your offense, would be who you take at this stage.
All right. Well, RJ Harvey, welcome to Dallas. We finally got a running back. There we go. All right, and the draft board. Now it's a long wait to the
we fall off the cliff for a little bit.
Yeah,
but we talked about this, because we do the draft show, and we do day 1, 2, and 3. I was saying to Paul, day 3 is going to be a killer, because we start day 3, and like for the first quarter of the show, there's no Dallas stuff happening. We're gonna have to fill it in somehow.
Zero action.
Yeah, that'll have to be when you come in and just like perk us up a little bit.
Yeah. So.
See, I think this is the weird thing. Like, I know we're talking about like some trades and stuff like that. Like, I always keep thinking it's like, what happens if we trade in the second round and get back that fourth round? Like, say we do get Ted McMillan at 12. Second round is actually a flexible position where you could do some work around, maybe move back 2 or 3 places and still pick up your fourth.
Well, what they're going to say is that if you include Jonathan Mingo in this draft class, they got one double player, and So.
That is how people as well will figure that out. They'll go, yeah, but he's like our 4th round draft pick. And you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, right. Technically, we did get a wide receiver in the 4th with first round talent. I'm like, all right.
Like, oh, you didn't. Right, no, cool. You didn't. Yes.
Just FYI, we have the Chiefs on our schedule, so I probably doubt Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid's going to care about that. So.
Yeah. All right, so we're at pick 149. So we've got quarterbacks Riley Leonard, Quinn Ewers, Mitchell Evans, the tight end, Jacory Crosscut Merritt, Benjamin Jurasik, Yaquez Hunter, if that's how you pronounce it, Tyler Barron, edge rusher from Miami, Jake Brainstool from Clemson.
Running backs.
I know. Trevor Etienne's there. Quincy Riley, Kyle Williams, the wide receiver. Kyle McCord, he's there. RG Oben, Kobe King. That's a good shout. I think.
Run stopping linebacker.
Yeah, because he was to me, him along with Abdul Carter were one of the main reasons it stopped Ashon Gentry in that game. Mm-hmm. They really put the brakes on him in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've also got Upton Stout, safety. This is where it's like you're really trying to find those hidden gems. And if there's one thing about the Cowboys that we have done in the past, we seem to find some good diamonds in the rough. Like,
this is where Will McClay does come into it.
This is where you have the keys. So, personally, the way that we drafted, I would be looking at Kobe King. Even though we brought in some linebackers, I just still feel like
you need to stay young.
Right. And then of course you're probably going to know when Overshown's going to return. But you have Maris Leofow, and then you have some older guys. They can kind of be like your veteran guys. But I feel like Kobe King, just with that Penn State type of mindset.
Exactly.
Micah Parsons,
solid Mike linebacker.
Yeah, solid Mike linebacker. He's stout. I would go with Kobe King here. I mean, I would possibly consider Upton Stout, possibly. But I think our safety room is going to be solidified. Once we brought Marquise Bell back in Wanye, I feel like they're going to get the dice roll. So I would go with Kobe King at this pick.
I actually think when me and you, Paul, when we did the mock draft last, with this pick, we took Kobe King.
Yeah, we did. There's
something there.
There was no hesitation in that format. Like, it was like, well, linebacker is still an underlying need because obviously, like you just mentioned there, JTuck, like we don't know when Overshawn is he going to be 100% when he comes back,
right?
Like, and obviously we've lost Kendricks, he's no coming back, etc. Right. So we're running a little bit thin in numbers, even though we've made some acquisitions, but it's still not enough. So
yeah, I agree.
So I totally agree. I'm all for Kobe King. So are we all good for that one?
Yeah, and I'm hoping that
all right, Kobe King, Penn State. Welcome to Dallas.
Will he last? And I hope he does. I'm watching because I want to see if he does. No, he doesn't. Damn it.
All right.
Was that Port?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's just a fantastic. I mean, me and you spoke about it on Twitter. You put it, and like I did it.
There you go, Tuck. There you go. I mean, you're talking about Upton Stout there. He's right there available.
Upton Stout's right there. This is 71, right? So we got 174.
Yeah.
Let me see what's available, but I would strongly consider Upton Stout because we just went linebacker, so I wouldn't go Cody Simon. Let's see what else is available.
Where is it in
Logan Brown to tackle?
Logan Brown, one of my Rock Chalk Jayhawk, very solid guy. Cody Lindenberg, that's another linebacker.
He's not bad, mind.
Denzel Burke, Danny Strutzman, who had a good combine.
Yeah, had a real good combine. But I think we're good at linebacker. Marcus Lawrence is a running back. I'm sorry. That's why you need to turn off the fan when it comes to these running backs. It's too many of them. So Tyler
Show.
Yeah. So yeah, I did a video on him 2 days ago and had a very good Senior Bowl. Texas Tech lineage, went to Louisville, played well in the ACC. He's banged up. He's had a lot of injuries, right? But if you want a project in a mold of clay to build a quarterback to, this is fun. Like it's really fun. Arm talent, 6'5", can mobile, can move outside the pocket. Yeah, he's been in multiple pro style offenses. He's an older prospect, so he's been through the reins a little bit. 30,000 yards last year. So, IQ, doesn't make a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, he's a quick processor.
Yeah,
I like that about him.
Yeah,
and when you look at what Louisville had, do you know
right.
what I mean? And he had to really be on the ball without a pun to get.
Yeah. So if you're looking for, I know a lot of people's talking about it because I know, the Jalen Milrose and the Dylan Gabriels, they probably already gone. They'll probably go a lot higher than I pretty much want to spend for a quarterback. But I feel like if I'm looking for a guy that has it, I just got to mold it. I would go with Tyler Shaw out of Louisville.
And I'm actually out on Dylan Gabriel. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I mean, I know he's a shorter quarterback.
He's tiny.
But when I met him at the combine, that's where I really grew, a connection with him. Like, okay, he just has that presence, right? He has that.
I know, yeah.
So it's like, but at the end of the day, you still got to go up there and play football, right? But I would like Tyler here. Let's look at defensive tackle because we didn't go to interior.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But I think because you're only 3 picks away.
Yeah, we could still easily, because 3 picks away at 174, so we could get like Tonka Hemingway, Tim Smith,
Junior would be the way.
Yeah, Seat Biggers as well, but you might get him maybe at 204 if he's still there.
Yeah,
still on Junior.
Me, I would probably just swing for Upton Stout.
Yeah.
What if you just went Upton Stout, you got 3 picks later, take Tyler Show, so that's your backup. Then at 204, wait to see who your defensive tackle falls.
And here's what I've been trying to explain to the Cowboys, nation about the backup quarterback. It sounds like if it does happen, and we can always kind of wait, right? Yeah. We're in day 2, day 3.
Exactly.
If the Giants do get Shedeur, there's no way they're holding on to Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Shedeur Sanders, right? So one of those guys are going to be back on the market, and I feel like that's more than enough quality QB2 in Dallas. So you could possibly wait now from a contractual standpoint.
That's the issue.
But I feel like that would be a solid. But where I'm telling people, if Dak Prescott's go down, we're going to take for Arch anyway. So I'm just like, what does it matter? So I would probably
I think Russell Wilson, you're talking what, 20 mil per year to have Russ in? I think that's a lot.
I forgot what he just got. What did he just get?
It's not, I don't think it's far off. Hold on, let me Google it.
I'm going to throw a little spanner in the works here, gentlemen. There is another unprecedented need we do need to talk about. We haven't addressed it yet, and that's offensive line.
Yeah.
I have my offensive lineman coming up here shortly. That's why. I have a guy I love coming up. He's probably going to be around 174, 204. But yeah.
So do you want to go Upton Stout because you mentioned him? We'll do that.
Yeah, let's go Upton Stout.
All right, okay, let's do it. Upton Stout, welcome to Dallas. And we're back in again. So, in fact, let's just see who actually went away. So, Lindenberg and Dawkins from Georgia went away.
So we're pretty good. We're still
we're in a good position here. Really good position.
If you scroll down slightly, keep going, like Carl Montague, Denzel Burke, a little bit lower. So you have
Emery,
Jones, right tackle, but he's actually probably lower on here. So you probably even wait even longer.
Is it Jack Nelson?
Jack Nelson out of Wisconsin. I love this kid. And Paul, if you watch this kid's film, you're gonna love him because he's a nasty, dirty, grimy left tackle.
That's the Wisconsin philosophy. That's one thing Wisconsin are infamous for is producing nasty O-line.
Yeah.
Famously from doing that.
Sorry, I'm just going to say Russell Wilson signed for 10. So I was way out.
You can work that,
Yeah, for
But
backup.
you
that's
might
fine.
be able to hold 204. I mean, might get Jack Nelson or not. You want just the offensive line. So I would probably go defensive interior and kind of roll the dice and see if he's there. But yeah, I love Jack Nelson. Emory Jones, right?
I like Emory Jones. Emory Jones is
good
a guy.
right tackle. We have position flex there. Let's see here.
And he's had the experience playing in guard as well.
Guard, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I will have to look. I have to see what he officially measured at, with his arm size and everything. Well,
I'll tell you now. It's on my
because
I got it on the RAS. If I can find him on my board, I'll be able to tell you.
Long arm, especially for a guard, 92nd percentile.
Yeah. So he's probably a tackle. He's an NFL tackle then. So yeah. So yeah, I would say yeah. So you can consider Emory Jones, but I feel like I can hold off. Because you got Hemingway.
I think interior defensive line is definitely where you need to go here. And this is the spot I find the sweet spot for those inside run stoppers,
right.
Or those tush push eliminators, which we really need to find.
Yeah. Now the tricky part is with this. This is not a nose tackle heavy draft. It's more like
it's not. Yeah.
Go back to the defensive interior. Just search that and let me see what's available.
You've got Tim Smith, Junior Tafana.
I like Junior Tafano.
Yeah. I think you could wait on Junior. I like him too.
Yeah, you can wait. You can wait on. So I mean, let's gamble a little bit. Let's gamble. Let's see. I like Tonka Hemingway too.
Tonka's fine. I mean, you can never argue with an SEC defensive tackle.
Yeah, let's go with Tonka. Let's go with Tonka just to be safe.
All right. Okay. Okay. Welcome, Tonka. Welcome to Dallas.
Plus the name Tonka, man.
That's
it's such a great name.
There goes Tyler, Cleveland.
I do have my backup quarterback in mind. I'll be honest, and you'll definitely get him in the last pick for sure.
Okay.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
Dang it! All right. So,
although
is he right there, Curtis Rourke out of Indiana?
I like Curtis Rourke. I like him.
I like Curtis Rourke as well. If he's there and we pick him, great, fantastic. But if those guys were gone, I always do have someone else that is in the back line, and that is the Memphis quarterback, Seth.
Yeah.
I like Curtis. I think so I done a thing of my top 10 sleepers, and Curtis Rourke is my number one sleeper. Injuries. Yeah, injuries is the trouble, see?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the same thing with Tyler. It's those injuries, right? But, Dallas got good doctors.
Exactly. And you're talking about a backup quarterback. The idea is really you shouldn't be asking your backup quarterback to be doing much.
Right.
I'm just going to double check. Your guy, Jack Nelson, went five picks away.
Last night. Yeah. Another guy who I really like out of Texas, center Jake Majors.
Yeah.
And the conversation that I'm having with a lot of Cowboys fans is that, even though Cooper Beebe played well at center, there has been talks about moving him to back guard.
Exactly.
I've heard that.
I feel like Jake Majors could be a guy that can kind of rotate maybe with Brock Hoffman and compete for that job. And he's a solidified senior, played throughout this entire tenure at Texas. Caden Prather, we have met and spoken with him a few times, but he already took an X wide receiver, so we don't need him.
Yeah.
So I would consider Jake Majors with this pick.
That would be quite a fan favorite pick, obviously coming from University of Texas as well. Yeah.
He's a solid center.
He's a solid center, and that gives you the opportunity to move Cooper Beebe to right guard, let Hoffman and Majors kind of run it, and then now you kind of fulfill that massive hole.
And if it does work out, and you don't need to play Jake Majors, because let's say for argument's sakes, Cooper Beebe stays at center, that works out well, and they're like, oh no, things have gone up, and Brock Hoffman,
we're adding depth.
There we go. You're adding depth, and we're talking here about pick 204.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not
Exactly.
going to. If pick 204 breaks our season, y'all, then we're doomed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all thinking Jake Majors here then.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Why
do
not?
it.
Although I do
All
like
right.
Cameron Jackson, who was there as well, a defensive lineman from Florida.
Let's see here.
Curtis
Right.
Rourke's still there.
Yeah, I would take Curtis Rourke here.
I would
All
too.
right, yeah, for being ranked the way he is, and you're getting him at 211. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's quite a straight shooter. Just to kind of go into his profile and show his report, like
He's
5
class.
interceptions last year. I mean, you look at his actual grade, and I know
And
like,
crazy bit. He played the majority of the season with an ACL injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's done that. Those statistics.
Yeah, and didn't really get credit for it because it was just at Indiana. And
exactly.
They didn't want Indiana.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. So
I like him. I always say 99% of quarterbacks games between the ears, and Rourke has it between the ears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think like you're saying about projects and stuff, I think Curtis Rourke would be a good mold as well to get him into that situation, into the pro level as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on board with that.
Do it.
Right, JTuck, you good with that?
Yeah.
Let's go. Curtis Rourke, welcome to Dallas.
We're almost
Now
there.
we're going to 239.
Here we go.
I like
Mickey
White
White just went. Yeah. Fidel Diggs just went. I do like him.
I'm not a fan of Jimmy Horn, by the way. A lot of people keep going on about him, and I'm like,
it's just the Colorado.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a question here about. So everyone talks about Travis Hunter, right? Why is no one talking about the other wide receivers that really catapulted Shedeur Sanders, like John Wester, etc.? Like they're not getting enough credit, I don't think.
No, absolutely not, because that's not the name. You know, like that's not. I mean, and I think not just only with Hunter and also Wester and Horn, even the other Sanders, and Carlos Sanders, he played well, but it's just the Shedeur Travis show.
But I don't like Shiloh Sanders. I think he's a dirty player.
Huh?
I think he's a bit of a dirty player, Shiloh Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He got away with a lot of targeting.
Yeah, he did. But I just feel like he's a guy who's going to go out there and compete, and play hard. So I wouldn't draft him.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Pentrell Cypress, Florida State, good kid who transferred from Virginia. Didn't have the best season last year because Florida State, which is garbage. Go to defensive end. I want to see if one of my guys is there. He might not even be listed, and that is my guy. What is it? Is it Walker? David Walker?
Johnny Walker. Yes, I was begging for you to say that.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker from Missouri or David Walker?
No, David Walker.
David Walker from Eastern Arkansas. Yeah, I love David Walker. I think he went maybe in the 4th round or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So he's a guy I might do a film session on him.
Elijah, the guy you keep miss saying as well.
Yes, I keep messing up his name for whatever God's reason why I keep doing it. I don't know why, but I always need to say him from Eastern Arkansas. That guy.
Yeah. Elijah Austin. We could probably get him at the last pick though. He was a kid that came on my channel the other day, man. So it's a phenomenal kid. He played at Bowling Green on the opposite side of Mike Green, right? Or no, is that where Mike Green is? No, Marshall, right? No,
Marshall.
Yeah,
Marshall with Mike Green. Transferred to the University of Miami. He has a Micah Parsons S bill, wears number 11. So a good edge rusher. I like him. I can probably wait for the last pick.
Johnny Walker, I quite like.
Yeah, I would probably go off the edge now since he's not there. I thought maybe Walker may have slid. Let's see what else is available from the full list.
So we've got Kareem Reed, linebacker, Timothy McKay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he actually did okay at the combine as well, McKay.
He did. I know a lot of people like Shmel Munden Jr.
I do like Shmel.
The other Jalen Walker out of Indiana.
So many Walkers.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see. Joshua Gray, Pentrell Cypress. Go to tight end.
Okay, well.
The tight
Tight
end.
end. Yeah. I
See
figure
if
you
my
might be
guy
good.
OG3, OG2 is there. Okay. Let's see here.
No, you can't. There's no point.
Maliki, Price. Yeah, all right. So no tight ends there. They all got snagged. So we're good there. I mean, this is pretty much the pick of the litter. To be honest with you, these are probably looking at just a camp body.
Yeah.
I feel like we're overloaded at wide receivers over there. I would probably go Mondon Jr. just to, see if we can catch lightning in the bottle at the linebacker position. Yeah. So I'll probably go Mondon. So
Yep. Just looking at his stats here. So he's had experience playing the D line, playing at the slot. So he's very versatile in terms of in regards to that. So that's something Dallas can work with for sure to find him if he can make the rosters for sure. So yeah, I'm all for it. Okay, so Shmuel Mondon then?
Yeah.
All right, cool, sweet. Shmuel Mondon, welcome to Dallas.
Never go against the Georgia linebacker. Seems like an Ohio State running back.
And then let's see what we have here.
And this is just a whatever you like.
So
I like Theo.
Theo
from Missouri.
Because a lot of people talk about, and I love Luther Burden. I don't understand his criticism, right? I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand it as well. I don't know why he's like him and Ted have been falling and all that.
Some people hate him. When I was at the combine, some people hate him. They say like 3rd round grade. I think it's his diva attitude, but it's a wide receiver.
You're supposed to be cocky. You're supposed to be.
Hey, what else is new, right? But play football, so
like everyone could say like a different comparison, but people don't like Brock Hoffman because he brings a little bit of attitude. I'm like, I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, as long as it's not detrimental to the team, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. We'll scroll this slightly for me. Now, when we did our mock draft last night, I took Kyron Lacy. And the only reason why I drafted Kyron Lacy was because the Saints posted his pro day. So I was like, so you're obviously aware of it. So I'm sure there's so many NFL teams that is monitoring his legal situation.
Yeah.
Becomes an undrafted free agent, But Kyron Lacy would probably get some big help, but we can pass on since we got T-Mac. But I mean, he's definitely a player, just made some stupid decisions. But I mean, it's Dallas Cowboys,
Well, less said the better.
Yeah. Not like we're watching.
I don't think Kyron Lacy will actually play. I think his
situation is bad, man. But the way these kids get out of stuff today, I have no idea who these lawyers are.
That is also true. But I think he turned himself in. I believe
he did.
Yeah. So
but think about even with Rashid Rice's situation, right? I mean, just like back in practice the next day. So, all right, scroll down just slightly.
Trader is quite nice.
Johnny Walker
is still there.
There was my guy, Seth Hennigan. But we've already got
Rourke.
Rourke. Yeah, we got Rourke.
I would probably go with Johnny Walker out of Mizzou.
And me.
I think having that extra body and defensive line as well. Because obviously, like Sam Williams is coming back from injury.
Just so you know, Sam Williams. Oh my God,
looks good.
What?
He is beefed up to the
That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah.
So
good. So you know.
Like what I was going to say was, it's like, because obviously D-Law's now moved on. We've got Williams coming back. We've made some acquisitions from free agency and stuff, etc. We've got
Nealand kind of has come on.
Nealand was kind of on and off with the season with sweet injuries there and there. So it'd be good just to add more players in the D line just to bring more competition as well. So I think Johnny Walker would be a good fit for that as well.
Yeah.
So everyone all good with Johnny Walker? Maybe not so much the drink, but the actual play.
I like Johnny Walker.
All right. Well, okay. With the final pick, we select Johnny Walker from Missouri. Welcome to Dallas.
Talking of Johnny Walker, we could drink some Johnny Walker with JTuck this November.
I mean, that's a whole marketing thing. He'll have a whole different brand deal.
That is true.
What's the famous saying that Pat McAfee always says? For the brand.
Right, for the brand.
Okay, let's see how we did here. So, So we got an A- overall.
I'm with it. But those first 4, 5 picks,
they're the most impactful.
We instant upgrade wide receiver. We upgraded corner instantly. RJ Harvey will be a starter eventually. Kobe King will probably work his way to be starter eventually. So I feel like we got 4 starters out of this draft already. I'm with it, man. I love it. Love it.
You got a bunch of
potentially 5 with Jake Majors, depending on what we do with the O-line as well.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So there you have it, folks. So just to reiterate who we've got here. So first round, Ted McMillan. Second round, Maxwell Hairston. Third round, running back RJ Harvey. Fifth round at 149, linebacker Kobe King from Penn State. 171, Upton Stout, safety from Western Kentucky. 174, Tonker Hemingway from South Carolina. 204, center, Jake Majors from Texas. 211, we get our backup quarterback in Curtis Rourke from Indiana. We double dip with linebacker with Shmuel Mondin Jr. from Georgia. And finally, we go with Johnny Walker Jr. from Missouri. There we have it.
Love it, guys.
Yes. But yes, man, it's that's our mock draft. But yeah, man, it's again, JTuck, thanks for coming on to this show, dude.
Thanks for having our brothers, man. Appreciate you guys. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
What time is it, you guys? On your side of the pond?
Coming to 11.
It's coming for nearly 11 p.m. right now. Yeah, so it's not too bad. But yeah, hopefully some point soon we'll be joining the Cowboys Can fan, joining them for their mock draft.
The game that you guys need to plan for right now is Cowboys versus Raiders in Vegas, man. That's the one. That's the one. Or Cowboys versus Chiefs in Dallas. But
I know.
The trouble
I was going to say, if that ends up being the Thanksgiving game, holy crap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I just don't trust myself in Vegas. I think I'll go to Vegas. You got that society that live in the underground in Vegas. I'd end up joining them.
You don't trust yourself.
Huh?
What about me? I'll probably end up getting married or something. I might wake up in a different state. Who knows?
I don't ask much from this season, but I just want this game versus Vegas to be in September, where it's nice and warm. We can go out at Circa Pool and and party all weekend, and then go to the game. Beat the Raiders and Pete Carroll, and get on about our business. So I'm waiting on that game. I can't wait for the schedule. At least that in Kansas City, I will definitely be in attendance. So
nice,
that's awesome.
We just hope you're there in November.
We
need you there in November,
and hopefully Ted McMillan will be there along with me. So
there we go. That's what we like to hear.
As long as you're in Dallas in November, that's the main thing.
I will come back for November, so we'll see.
Yeah. Oh no, honestly, dude, thank you so much again. But before we do go, please tell everyone where everyone can find you.
Yeah, of course. You can follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. That's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. Then my YouTube channel, CFO Sports, come on through. We do a lot of Cowboys content, but we do a lot of NFL draft content. We do a lot of film breakdown. A lot of the players that we mentioned, like Elijah Austin and a few others, they've been on the show. Got some more guys lined up. So, I just love talking football with context and, educating the community. I'm having fun doing it this year. Can you guys believe it's year 5 for me? Time definitely flies when you're having fun. So I definitely enjoy it, man. And always a pleasure walking with my guys from across the pond, man. I need to get over there to your guys' side.
I'll tell you what, though, JTuck, you would have an absolute ball. Maybe not so much the weather, mind you, but you would have a great time, though. Yeah. We would make sure of that. If you're ever up in Glasgow, I would personally take you to a Glasgow Celtic game for the summer. I would do that.
There's always a space sofa bed here for you, mate. It's got your name written all over it.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely get over there. I might talk to you. I might do that this year because
do you know what you need to come over when the Six Nations are on?
The rugby. 100%.
When Wales play Scotland.
Okay,
that'd be.
When does that typically happen?
This time of year.
Okay,
literally just finished.
Yeah, it's every year, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
Every year, Six Nations, they do it every year, but like Wales and Scotland play, it's
Okay.
always a big party. Always. Like, and it's very
It goes
similar.
It goes on the whole weekend.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest difference is like when you go to a soccer game here in the United Kingdom, you're segregated from the fans. Like you've got your home fans at one side, you've got the away fans at the other side. But whereas in rugby, it's like going to an NFL. Everyone's all mixed, and they do have the tailgate experience at the games where they'll have like beer tents and stuff like that as well. It's fairly similar. They're incorporating more from what America's doing in terms of that, bringing family entertainment more into the sport. So, but yeah, going to the rugby is awesome, man. Like, it might take away well to like kind of get to know the rules and stuff like that. But it's a great atmosphere.
I enjoy new sports, man. And, I've been watching soccer. We just went to Kansas City Sports, but American soccer is not the same, But funny, Paul, you sent my son that Celtics jersey, and when he was little, he hated soccer, couldn't get him to watch it.
Really?
But in high school, he decided to go out for the freshman team, and I don't know what the hell happened. He became naturally good, so he made JV and varsity his first year playing soccer. So now he's playing soccer all summer. He's at soccer practice. That's why I got to go here in a little bit and get him from practice. And it's just like, how the hell did that happen? When
dude, that is absolutely fantastic to hear. Like, dude.
Yeah,
like,
so
that's kids.
Are gearing up. We're gearing up for the World Cup here in Kansas City. So I'm like,
I'll tell you one thing. If things go in the progression of your kids doing right now, if I see your kid in a Celtic jersey, it's like I'm responsible for that.
He was into PSG for a little bit because he's a huge,
of course, like Neymar, etc.
But then now he's not with PSG anymore, so he jumps all over the place. I called him a bit. He had no loyalty. But he's definitely enjoying soccer, man. So that's crazy. So
that's nice.
No, but once again, JTuck, thanks for having us on, man. But yes, folks, that concludes our show for this week. We will be back next week covering more information about the upcoming draft, more latest news about the Dallas Cowboys, and a hell of a lot more. But yes, but before we do go, Mike, please tell everyone wherever we can find you as well.
Yeah, you can find me either on Blogging the Boys or on Twitter at Kenfig Cowboy. That's Kenfig with a K, Cowboy with a K. And you, Mr. P?
You can find me at IamPStewart at X and Instagram. And in fact, I've almost forgot to do the ad read before we do go, actually. So almost forgot. But yeah, we'll be back one moment and we'll say our final goodbyes once more, and back in one moment.
The World's Team Podcast is brought to you by Cowboys Experience, the ultimate Cowboys experience with stadium tours, meet and greets, tailgating, game tickets, and much more. For more information, please go to www.cowboysexperience.com.
Yeah, be sure to go and check out cowboysexperience.com. Me and Mike are going to be in Dallas in November, along with the UK Cowboys fans. We're going to have a big, massive party. We've got, how many, Mike? About 20 of us going this year?
Yeah, it's looking that way now, and that number's always creeping up.
Yeah, after the big success of 2 years ago, everyone loved what we were doing. So I need to be part of this. So it's really great to see. So it's going to be a big turnout for that. And we would hope to get to meet you guys there at the Cowboys meet and greet.
Yeah, and those guys will even get to meet people like JTuck.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yep. That concludes this week's show. Like I said, we will be back next week. So, but like here, as always, here at the World's Team, it's not just America's team. It is the World's Team. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, folks.
You've been listening to the World's Team Podcast. There's no other team like it in the world. Nothing more electrifying than the Dallas Cowboys. And we're here to prove it. We bring in fan groups from Germany, France, Brazil, the UK, Canada, Japan. We're everywhere, baby. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Instagram at the.worlds.team. on Twitter at @the_worlds_team, and on YouTube at the Worlds Team. How about them Cowboys?
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
See you next time.